What's up? I'm Gaby Wilson for MTV News, and I'm here with Rowan Blanchard, one of the stars of A Wrinkle in Time.
Hi.
Hi. So before you signed on to do this movie, what was your relationship to the book?
I had done a book report on Wrinkle in Time in the 3rd grade, and then when I found out they were casting for the movie, I just kind of put out into the universe that I wanted to be involved in it in any sort of capacity.
Yeah. So when you did the book report, were you like a fan of the book? Like,
yeah.
How much did you
connect
with
I
the
chose
story?
that book. Like, it wasn't like, I don't think it was mandated by the school. It was just like I wanted to read Wrinkle in Time so badly.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something so revolutionary it feels like to have a story about a girl who literally saves the entire universe. In a way that isn't serving something else, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So in the movie, you play Meg's bully, which is a bit more of an antagonistic role than I think a lot of people have seen you. Mm-hmm. Were you excited to dive into a character like that? How did that feel?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I just looked at it as another opportunity to sort of explore a different part of acting and whatever. But yeah, it was interesting. It's always interesting to play a bully because it's never, I guess the very easy way is to just play it very mean. But the more complicated way is to like try to get into the psychology of what's causing them to feel like that.
And how did you prepare for that?
I don't know if I did any crazy preparing, but we did have like a day where Ava just like built my character a bedroom, and we just kind of went in there and improv, and that was really fun to kind of explore the mindset of her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So your character is one that Ava added to give Meg another young woman to interact with and to show the importance of female friendship.
Yeah.
What was it like working with Storm on the dynamic between the two of your characters?
I love Storm.
Yeah.
I got to be there the first day that they shot, and so I kind of watched this whole magical thing happen between Ava and Storm, where Ava was talking about like what it's like to direct a film starring a girl like her that looks like her. And there was this beautiful thing that kind of happened within the crew where I think we were just watching those two together and like about to witness, or there was just like a butterfly feeling in everybody's stomach. I think that we all knew that we were part of something that was really world changing. And so yeah, I like watching Storm and getting to work with her was so fun, and just I'm like feel so excited for her because I think she's at this really unique point until the movie comes out where it's like right before something crazy sort of happens.
And how did the two of you work together on the dynamic of like Meg and her bully? Like, did you guys prepare before scenes or just kind of like go into that?
We kind of went into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I shot the first day of filming. We both shot. I think we had the first scene up, and so we just kind of went into it and just went there.
The number of incredible women that you're able to work with as part of this project, Ava Duvernay, Reese Witherspoon, Oprah, Mindy Kaling. I'm sure that there's no shortage of inspiring memories from set. Is there one particular moment or interaction that you think that you'll take with you forever?
Gosh, I mean, I didn't get to work directly with Reese, Oprah, and Mindy because there's like obviously two different kind of worlds that happen in Wrinkle in Time. There's like the physical world, and then there's like the what's it world. So my character doesn't directly interact with them, but I got to sort of be in the peripheral of them on set. But Ava gave me so much advice. She let me shadow her, so that is an experience I will probably never forget.
Yeah. Was there anything in particular that you observed or learned from shadowing Ava for those few days?
Yeah, I guess I'm just really, really interested in the ways that women, and especially women of color directors, have learned to occupy space when the space is so limited. But I think Ava would tell you the space isn't limited, it's probably infinite, and there's so many different ways to fill that. And just being able to watch her and witness that and sort of learn from her all the different ways that you can approach a set and control a set without historically male tropes, it's really inspiring.
And how would you describe the way that Ava conducts a set?
Well, I mean, she's in charge. She's definitely in charge, it's just in a different manner. Most of the male directors that I've worked with, I think you associate being in charge with screaming at your actors or yelling at everyone or just trying to keep everything in line. And there is such a control like that, but I think with Ava, she's able to have control without disturbing anybody, I guess.
Sure. Why did you want to shadow her in the first place? Do you have like aspirations to direct, or
Yeah.
just like
I mean, she's Ava Duvernay,
Right,
so I want
yeah.
to shadow her because of that. But I also really, really, really want to direct, and I sort of talked to her about that, and I just straight up asked her if I could shadow her, and she said yes, which is crazy.
It's amazing that she was like allowing you to be in that space for so long too.
Yeah, it was
well.
really generous because obviously, I mean, she's directing this like multi-million-dollar film that has it's just a crazy set, and like the fact that she was so generous and one-on-one with me, it means so much to me, and I don't think I will ever forget that.
Was there any particular like piece of advice that she left you with?
Gosh, I'm not sure if there was anything directly, but it was just like, the one thing that I've always taken from Ava is that no matter how far up you get, you have to bring people up with you. And she's such a great example of that. She's worked with the same script supervisor, I believe, since her first film. And I got to speak with her script supervisor and kind of talk about their relationship, how they came to be. And like, it's just so fascinating to have somebody who's so incredibly selfless when their work is so big and grand.
Yeah, so I think this idea of collaborating with other people who are your age or in your scene is very much one that appeals to you, and I think that you see that a lot in your book, Still Here. Talk to me a little bit about why you wanted to publish this book in the first place.
I think I was really interested in sort of the feelings that teenagers have as really incredible working material to sort of make art. Because I think they're always, I just feel like it's so reductive to summarize like teenhood into like angst or dramatic or all these words that feel like they are meaningless at this point. When really I think there's so many infinities within teenagehood of what you're feeling, because you're literally feeling everything for the first time. I just thought it would be a really interesting thing to sort of tackle and try to make a thing on, is like teenage survival and what it means to feel so raw and new to the world.
And what was your process for assembling it? Like, did you seek out collaborators first, or did you sort of assemble your own material first?
It all sort of happened at the same time. I definitely went out to collaborators first, had them sort of submit their work. As their work came in, I kind of found where my work could fit in. I was putting it together for about a year and a half until I sent it. Yeah.
And how did you decide on like which people you would involve in this process?
A lot of the people I've actually never met in real life, which is really cool, and sort of summarizes the power of the internet. But I was able to meet a lot of really incredible artists and writers through Twitter and Instagram and all of those social media. So I just sort of reached out to them and was like hoping I would receive something back, which I did.
Was there anything in particular about these contributors that you assembled that like was sort of a through line besides the fact that you just admired their work?
Yeah, well, I think all of the people that I sort of involved in, the reason why I was really interested in each of their work was that it had something to do with like a need to survive, or it felt like their work was trying to prove the existence of something. And I kind of looked at that, now I look at that as sort of the through line for the book, as trying to prove your own existence or survive or whatever.
Yeah, and a lot of it is intensely personal. I mean, it's like part scrapbook, part personal diary. Was there any point while you were putting the book together that you had like second thoughts where you're like, maybe I don't want to publish my personal diary?
Yeah, I mean, of course. I think I experienced that, especially when I was nearing towards the end of the book. I think something that helped for me is viewing a lot of it as objective and as performative. Because if you look at the things that you're writing, I think when you're a teenager, if anybody were to look at any of their diary entries, you would notice that you're almost trying to mimic the feeling that you think you're experiencing throughout your writing or throughout how you're describing it. You might not actually be feeling it. You're just trying to describe how you think it feels. So when I was able to sort of go back at my work and kind of look at that and digest it as something that is performative or as something that is me trying to feel something out, then I felt less attached to it in that way. So yeah, I mean, there were definitely points where I was like, I want to erase my whole entire self from the book.
Right.
But I don't know. I think a lot of this had to do with sort of accepting me experimenting with my own voice.
Yeah, and I think it probably helps that there aren't too many specifics. It's a lot of like meditations on your body or like your mind or yourself and your identity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess speaking about the body part, I was just really interested that during teenagehood, you're literally given this new body that you just have expected to figure out, and how that changes people's gazes on you and how that inflicts danger on you sometimes and all of these things. And I just was interested in exploring that in different ways because I think that's such a central theme, especially for teenage girlhood, is sort of learning what it means to have a body and to be seen and to be looked at and all of these interesting things that I thought were concepts that I could really take from.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that it's helpful to have it from different perspectives as well.
Yeah, because I didn't want to make something that was just my perspective. That feels incredibly selfish and I take up a lot of space, so I just don't want to take up that much more.
Well, you can take up space, I think. I think for any young girl, a good idea is to have the mentality that you should take up space. but
Yeah.
but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, I guess I'm saying I like take up space in the sense where I have so many privileges and advantages that it wouldn't be super good for me to just make a book about my life.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. It felt very important to have people surrounding me and all of us together.
Yeah, definitely. The idea of lifting other people up with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. All comes full circle.